When I was a boy growing up in Afghanistan, I knew what I wanted to be, a police officer, just like my father. So I took my training very seriously. I watched all of cop shows on the TV, and I played a lot of cops and robbers, and I listened to my father's stories closely. I wanted to be a police officer because I wanted to keep the people safe. That was my purpose, and purpose is a powerful thing. That is what my life has taught me, or I could say my lives. I have had 3 lives. I have started my life over 3 times. A teacher, translator, American. Many people struggle when they have to start over. They feel lost or get depressed, or they do not recognize themselves anymore. With COVID and quarantine, maybe you have asked yourself these questions. Who am I anymore? Is this really happening? Or what am I doing here? But I have not gotten lost in confusion or given it to the dark. Look at me, I'm giving a TEDx and I'm a happy guy. Here is my secret for leading happy, meaningful life. Reconnect to purpose. Purpose brings you home. Purpose reminds you who you are and what you need to do. Purpose keeps you from despair. Because life is unexpected and full of twists and turns, purpose helps you find your way. When I graduated from high school, I was still planning to become a police officer. But my country was not the same as when I was a boy. The international peacekeeping forces arrived and stationed all across in Afghanistan. And I realized they are doing what I want. They are keeping the people safe. And I thought if I learn English, I could help the troops and I could keep my people even safer. So I already spoke 3 languages: Farsi, Pashto, and Urdu. What was one more language? So I switched my plans, but I followed my purpose. I went to a school to learn English language. After 2 years, the dean of a school called me into his office, and I thought they were going to kick me out, but they wanted to hire me as a teacher. That was not my plan, but I taught my students to get good job with English language skills that would keep them safe. Again, I followed my purpose. I became an English teacher. At that time, the US forces started hiring some local national linguists. I passed the hard test, and they putting me on the waiting list. A year later, my phone was ringing. It was the HR for the US military. It was my chance to keep more people safe than ever before. And I could be a cultural bridge between 2 sides. And I could make a good relationship between 2 great nations, Afghans and Americans. And this relationship could keep my country safe for a long, long time. So I switched my plans and I restarted my life. A week later, I was on a plane to Helmand province, the most dangerous place in Afghanistan. And I worked 7 years with US forces, 1.5 years with US Army, 1.5 years with US Navy, and for the last 4 years with US Marines. Our job was to locate, to identify, to discover, and to defuse the roadside bombs called IEDs, improvised explosive devices. it was a very dangerous job, since there had been 4 decades of war. There had been more than 1 million bombs hidden all across in Afghanistan. I just feet away or barely survived from many explosions or ambushes. Once my tank drove over an ID and we flew about 10-15 feet in the air. And I got a concussion and I hurt my left shoulder and I was sent to the hospital. And my commander visited me at the hospital, asking me if I go home or reassign me to a less dangerous post. No. I said no. I want to live my dream. I want to keep the people safe. I don't want to be anywhere else. Then I served 1 more year with US forces. Then my unit pulled out from Afghanistan and they left me behind. The enemy knew that I served 7 years with US forces. So my life, my daughter's life, and my wife's life would be in danger. We had to go. My wife said she wanted to meet some movie stars. So we moved to California. We arrived to California in the year of 2017. My daughter was just 2 years old, and my wife was 3 months pregnant. And I felt more scared and alone during those early days in America than I had for the 7 years I had spent on the front lines and hot spots. I was sick, my wife was sick, and my daughter was sick too. And we started living on the street. And I didn't know how to keep my family safe here. Eventually, we connected with the people who helped us. And they found us a place to live, and they brought us some food and medicine. But it was hard to find my way. A few years back in Afghanistan, when I met the US Secretary of Defense, he said, "Good job." I was seen there. But in America, I was invisible. Even they said I was not qualified to work at any gas stations or grocery stores. No cash register experience. Then I reconnect to my purpose to keep the people safe. I got a job as a security officer, just like my father, just like I had dreamed as a boy. About 10 years ago, a team of researchers, they did an interesting study. And they found if you have a strong sense of purpose, you will be satisfied with your life. So my experience has taught me the same thing, that purpose is a powerful thing. We need its power to navigate the challenges of life, the challenges of COVID. Whenever you found yourself somewhere unexpected, remember your secret. Reconnect to your purpose. Purpose brings you home. Thank you so much.